What's your idea of this ascension, and how do you feel about that?
One of the things that the Mayan have always talked to us about is the shift in DNA. And this energetic shift, what it's doing is changing the vibration of this particular planet. And the universe around us, but in this particular point in the universe, vibration is changing. And things are shifting. And I believe that in this plane that we've experienced, we've been going through the opportunity, or maybe just the natural evolution of jumping vibration, of leaping from a particular state of consciousness to a different state of consciousness. If it's third, fourth, fifth or seventh dimension, I don't like to get caught up in the specific details of that, because I think everybody maybe have their own experience around that. But a shift in vibration, definitely. And that means that our DNA, which comes from spirit and energy, but then it materializes into DNA cells and the body that we are, that material is going to activate. And a lot of the parts that we haven't been using of what composes a human being are going to be available to us. It's something very similar to what was out there, I think, in the television about this series of people having superpowers and having psychic abilities and being able to control fire and water and all different things.
Camera ready?
Yeah, almost. Hold on. This looks like 70, 80 feet. This is so unreal. Oh my God. Oh my God. Claire? Claire!
That was attempt number 6.
Solar eclipse?
Yeah, I wonder if it's gonna be total.
Not here, no. Some other part of the world, yes. A global event.
What's this? Pinhole camera. It's for the eclipse.
Makes one appreciate just how small our planet really is.
Do you ever get the feeling like you were meant to do something extraordinary?
Yes, we are all special. Some individuals, it is true, are more special.
You should know who you are and know that it's enough.
I think I'm old enough for you to tell me who my real parents are.
It begins as a single individual,
Mom?
seemingly ordinary, except they're not.
Having these amazing dreams. Sometimes I'm falling, sometimes I'm flying.
You can fly, why don't you jump off the Brooklyn Bridge? See what happens.
I'm seeing things.
I'm hearing voices in my head.
Like a crazy person?
It's more like I'm hearing people's thoughts.
Something's wrong with me.
What are you talking about?
I painted it 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so?
Look at the number on the bus. This happened yesterday.
Does this make any sense to you?
Let me tell you what does make sense.
You're done!
You gotta run.
Something is happening to me, and I have this feeling that you're the only person that's gonna understand.
He was convinced someone was following him, trying to steal his research.
He left everything behind but his computer. Let's get a team in here to bag and tag it. Suresh, huh? He was a Professor Suresh, geneticist. Interesting theories. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
How hot do you think it is in there?
There's no burns.
Tissue regeneration.
levitation, teleportation. Is this outside the realm of possibility? Or is man entering a new gateway to evolution?
My whole life, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do, what I'm supposed to be. I'm gonna have a destiny of my own.
You can help him.
Help who?
Isaac, I brought someone.
Simone.
Oh my God. I need an ambulance here immediately. Someone's crazy.
It's my turn to be somebody now, Nathan.
We have to stop it.
We're connected.
So what about you, Claire? Do anything special today?
Heroes. Mondays at 9/8 Central. This fall on NBC.
So that is a natural evolution in humankind. It's moving from an animal form into a more evolved, energetic or psychic being. The different calendars of the Mayans map those stages of evolution. So I agree with that. I know it is happening. I don't think it's going to happen in January. The last years that I've been seeing people and sharing my life and experiences with people, I've seen amazing things on this regard. Working with children, I've seen enormous changes in the way children are open to their own psychic abilities and their own healing capacity and how they share them. I believe it is true. I believe it is happening. Now, the part that sometimes I feel maybe we would like to see things like a movie, as if somebody is going to come to us and very calmly ask us, okay, so where do you want to be? You want to stay in here in the third dimension, or you want to come with us to the fourth dimension? And that's the part where maybe my experience differs a little bit about that. I do believe that there's a lot of light beings, not only from planet Earth, but from other planes and planets that are helping us and that are actually materializing in very clear forms for people who are open to it and helping them in their own spiritual journey. Though we're still in a human body, our consciousness and our spirit is still bound by our physical skin and our psychic skin, our ego mind, our ego self. So when I speak about a shift in vibration, it's almost as if right now where you are, as if somebody plugs you into an electrical current that has a higher voltage than the one you're in at the moment. And what happens is that if your body, if your mind, if your spirit is not prepared, your system is going to blow up. If your body, if your mind, if your spirit is prepared for this shift in voltage inside of your body, then that is how gradually I understand the ascension process can happen. Now, the effects that I'm seeing on people, mostly because of these changes, have been an enormous rise in what we consider mental disorders, because the fuses inside of our brain are blowing up. We cannot handle the intensity of the energy at the moment. And for those who haven't experienced them mentally, a lot of people have experienced physical ailments, and a lot of people who are deeply spiritual and who have meditated for years are experiencing physical ailments or illnesses out of nowhere, and simply because the voltage is higher, there's more energy running through the system, and our system is cleansing and trying to adapt to a whole new way of being.
I know one of the things they talked about, the ascension process, that people are experiencing aches and pains and like headaches, migraines, you know, and this is part and parcel of the energy change that's taking place. And people who are open are more sensitive to this change. And I can definitely agree with you on that one, that people are getting symptoms over the last few months, if not a few weeks. People around me just getting sick or having symptoms or illnesses just out of the blue. So I don't know about you, but I think there's a kind of a build-up to this, and I don't know how long it's going to take or carry on for, but I hope it doesn't carry on for too long.
Yeah, I hope that too, but I think we're only seeing the beginning of it. I believe years ago I used to say to people, let's prepare for the tsunami. Let's learn how to surf so we are strong when the tsunami, the internal tsunami of energy comes. We're strong enough to surf that energy change and energy drive. But now what I say is just hold on to that surfboard tight, because the wave is not going to stop. Right now the tsunami has rise. It is very much what you've just said about the birth process. The baby's already in the birth canal. So how do we stop this? Well, yeah, we can. We can create an abortion if we want, and kill, and in one way kill humankind. But right now we need really all the resources that we can hold on to hold on to the surfboard, because the tsunami is only going to get more intense. And what I've seen that a lot of people have experienced is that they have no time to rest. It's like a wave comes of change in their lives, and maybe this manifests with either a physical problem, or maybe changes in the relationship, changes in their country they live in, changes at work, and all this shift is happening, but there is no time to breathe in between one change and the other.
You're saying this is going to go on for a period of time. Are we talking, weeks? Are we talking months? Are we talking years?
We're talking years. I believe it's going to be years if we follow the same count that we're following to say that the 21st of December is important, or that the alignment of Venus in May was important. Those same counts, they normally move. Well, I'm speaking now from the Mayan perspective. They are always put in groups of 20 years. So a group of 20 years will finish this year in 2012, and we're going to start a cycle of another 20 years. So the next 20 years are marked by the energies of scarcity and famine. And then the following 20 years are marked by chaos, by maybe natural disasters and anarchy and wars. Now, when I speak about that, we have to understand the way the Mayans made their prophecies. It's not that they were seeing the future and trying to predict what was going to happen. What the Mayans were writing about was things that happened when there was a similar alignment on Earth. So they documented everything, and with the help of, we can say spirit guides or helpers from other dimensions, if we want to say, they created a map of what were the characteristic energies of the different cycles. And in the same way, we know that once for example, for a birth process, once the labor has happened, the waters break, the baby passes through the birth canal, and then it comes out the other side. Well, in the same way, the Mayans know there are certain cycles that we have to pass through in order to be reborn. So the next 20 years, there are going to be cycles where we're probably going to be squeezed, where things are going to change, but that is the death that we're talking about. And then followed by that, then we'll probably see shifts on the earth as well. So this is the beginning. I don't believe this is the end. I believe this is only the beginning of the changes.
Now, one of the things, I was talking to Steve about this during the week, and I was looking at some signs of the DNA activation, and you talked about people who are having, heightened abilities. And one of the things they said was that out of the 64 strands of DNA, we only have something like 20 active. And if you look at the negative vibration or negative energy, if you look at the sine wave, it actually just touches off a few of the DNA. It doesn't touch on all of them, it just touches off a few of them. But if you look at the sine wave of a positive energy, a positive vibration, we have to be able to raise our vibration and be more positive and focused to enable this DNA to come in. But obviously we live in a fear-based society, and that's exactly what the cabal and the system want us to be in fear. Because as long as they keep us down and keep us in fear, we will not activate the DNA that we need to activate.
I agree with all of what you're saying, and yeah, maybe I suppose a lot of people who are truth seekers or that speak about different conspiracy theories or what they call conspiracy, they talk about that there are a few minds behind it all. That are actually very carefully designing what type of vaccinations do we have, what type of food do we eat, so that our DNA does not get activated. I do believe that maybe in planet Earth there's a certain vibration that its waves are more on the synchrony of fear and greed. I believe this planet has been deeply poisoned by greed, and the vibration of greed is it constricts. It creates systems like what we know today as capitalism. Where there needs to be poor people in order for rich people to exist and so on. So I completely agree, and the only way to be able to maybe exercise or use the full potential of who we are is to start moving away from those vibrations of fear and greed, and exercising not only in intention or by reading them in books, but in action, other qualities like love, compassion, non-violence, and as I said, not only talk about them, not only read about them, that's not enough. We need to be able to become the expression of compassion, the expression of peace. So all of our energy and system is able to act. And with that, the spiritual awakening happens. And with that, naturally, as we evolve energetically, there will be different qualities that will develop in our intuition, in our psyche, that sometimes I feel that a lot of people are trying to gain those qualities in the same way we go to college. We're trying to learn how to read the tarot or do energy healing or see things from the future from a rational perspective. And I believe that awakening happens naturally and spontaneously to every single soul that embarks in a true journey of self-realization.